Oh, welcome everybody to PNC Arena for this matchup between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Golden Knights have had a great start to the season, 4-2, where the Hurricanes, a little, not so much, a little bit iffy. You can see the Golden Knights sporting their brand new alternate jerseys that just got released a few days ago. Golden Knights just in the, the Hurricanes sporting their new alternate jerseys. Golden Knights sporting their regular all whites. It's me, Builder. DNP is taking the night off, or the game off, I should say. So it's just me and BenPie1024 commentating this game, and I'll send it over to Ben.
So as we can relate to the actual Hurricanes being absolute trash, I'm sorry all you Hurricane fans, but it's true, your team's awful. This is kind of how the regular season and the IRL NHL has been played out. Hurricanes suck. The Golden Knights have gone off to a strong start, and everybody's mind has just exploded because they had no clue where this team had come from and how good of a start they had. So it's kind of nifty, normal here in the NSHL. But let's see if anything will change tonight. Back to you, Build.
Starting goaltenders tonight in net for the Carolina Hurricanes, number 33, Scott Darling. At the other end, the Golden Knights sporting their backup for the first time this year in Malcolm Subban. Our starting lineups on the Carolina Hurricanes side: left winger number 53 Jeff Skinner, in center number 7 Derek Ryan, on right number 21 Lee Stepniak, on right defense number 6 Klaas Dahlback, and on left defense number 74 Jacob Slavin. On the Vegas Golden Knights side of things, on left wing number 38 Thomas Heika, number 21 Cody Eakin, number 18 James Neal, and number 88 Nate Smith, and number 77 Brad Hunt. We're about 3 minutes away from puck drop. Ben, would you like to tell the stream what happened earlier today?
It was a strong start for the Wild. This just happened just about a half hour ago. It was a very close game. It didn't seem so at the start between the Sharks and the Wild. So the Wild got out to a strong start, but then as the typical San Jose Sharks do, they continue and they fight back, and it was a close game all the way down to the finish. It was very, very nerve-wracking, especially for me, but nobody cares about me. Back to you, Build.
That it was. The game ended 5-7, and we know that whole voodoo around the home team not being able to win. The Wild said no to that and picked up their second home win of the victory. Well, the home team's looking for a win tonight. The Hurricanes looking to get their third win of the season, bring them to an equal 500 record, trying to get themselves into the playoff picture, while the Golden Knights are trying to take off, and as they're in a tie with the Arizona Coyotes now, both at 8 points, leading the Western Conference, and they're looking to make a strong playoff push. We still have a long while to go yet. About 20 more games for both of these teams, and it should be exciting. Either way, looks like the Vegas Golden Knights switched up their lineups a little bit, but we won't re-announce those. You could probably see them from the camera. We're about to get underway. We're about a minute out here in Carolina, and yeah, I guess we can get underway. Right off the face-off, the Golden Knights send it in back behind Scott Darling in the Carolina end. Back to the blue line, Ryan Reeves takes it back out to center towards his own goaltender. Reeves getting pushed by Lindbergh. Theodore in the corner with him, along with Jessica Hayden Fleury. Gets pushed out by Shea Theodore, and the puck's going to go right back in to the Carolina end. Almost back out to the blue line. Carolina's trying to clear. They do, and they carry it in to Malcolm Subban's and the Vegas Golden Knights end. Behind the crease now. Subban trying to keep it away from his net, and so are the Vegas Golden Knights. They do. Trying to get it out to center. They fail that. Dorster in front of the net. Couldn't find anyone there. Now Nicholas Waugh trying to get it back in as he passes it to Slavin. Slavin is going to carry it in. Malcolm Subban looks to be down. They carry it back behind the net. Can they get it in front? No, they cannot. The Vegas Golden Knights stop all pressure, and they clear it out to center, down towards Scott Darling. There's two Golden Knights. Shot just goes wide from James Neal. Neal going to the point as he clears it out of his own end, or out of his offensive end. It's right on the net. It hits the post, and it's carried out wide. The Golden Knights trying to keep it away from the net, and they score! Just as we see that. The Hurricanes get the goal. The Golden Knights put it in their own net.
And a common theme from last game was amount of 4 total own goals from both sides of the Sharks Wild game. And let's start the game off with another one. It's 1-0 Hurricanes. A sloppy play by the defense overpowering by the Hurricane equals to a 1-0 lead. Back to you, Bill.
Seems like the tech crew had a tough time trying to get the goal horn working. Well, that's okay. We can deal with that. Not that big of a deal. Goes right down into the Carolina end, and Jacob Slavin carries it out. Dumps it into the Vegas end. Cody Eakin and Thomas Heike, along with Nate Schmidt, looking to push it out. Now all 5 Golden Knights in the corner. James Neal gets pushed out, but Nicholas Wall comes away with the puck. Now Eakin, here comes Heike, and the puck gets shafted wide right off the post. Off the rebound shot, may have went off a Dahlback. And they go down and they score!
What a turnaround. This happened in the last game of the Wild game, but it was a strong start for both squads, and the Wild ran away with this. This looks like it's going to be the same. The Hurricanes are looking they're going to run away with this, but let's see what happens. It's still the first period. Back to you, Bill.
Well, the Hurricanes can't get too cocky. They had a 6-goal lead at one point this season, and they lost the game 9-7. That was to the Flyers. Now, as much as I think the fans would like to see their team get back to an even 500, back to the playoff push, they got to be a little bit nervous. Anyways, back out to center. Braden McNabb carries it into his own end, getting pushed by, I think, Eric Holla. Yes, it was. Now Shea Theodore looking to push it out. Alex Tuck beats him to the puck, his own teammate. Sends it back behind the Carolina net. And there's a big scrum behind the net. Carolina wins that scrum, although Alex Tuck is all over TVR. Zykov looking to clear it out and cannot mark. Oh, now he does. It gets pushed out by Vegas as they couldn't hold the line. Zykov right on their net. TVR just wide. They couldn't push it in. It was right up against the post. Close, but no cigar. TVR carries it back down into his own net with Shea Theodore hot on his tail. Theodore beats him off the puck, and Carolina gets it back out to center. Yes, they do, as Vegas gives them a little bit of help. Jonathan Marchessault down in the corner. Alex Tuck getting pushed by Teuvo Teravainen, but the Golden Knights still get it out. Schmidt with a chance. Carries it just wide of the net. Schmidt still has the puck in the corner, sends it back to his blue line. Nobody's there. Nordstrom getting pushed by Fleury, but the Vegas players caught up and get it right back down into the Carolina end. Not the way this game has gone, is that Carolina's had most of the offense, but now they get it right back. Teravainen with 3 other teammates hot on his tail. Pushing it behind the Vegas net, trying to find somebody in front. Fails as Ryan Reeves and Nate Schmidt take it back out to center. They bring it back into the Carolina end. Can they do anything from here? Looks like no, they cannot, as it goes back to the blue line and cleared by Zykov. A big scrum now all folds out, and Lindbergh beats everybody to the puck with 3 Hurricanes on him. Puck gets pushed back out the center, but Carolina gets it right back in, right behind Subban. Puck keeps hitting off of the top of players, and that one almost hits the post. But the Golden Knights get it right back out the center. Right up the red line now. Brad Hunt looking to carry it into the Carolina and fails as Carolina brings it back in behind Malcolm Subban. Puck comes out in front, but nobody is there to tuck it in. Puck goes right back behind the net. Carolina seems to friendly, and it comes right back down into their end. Or fancy, pardon me. Derek Ryan now holds it, but passes it to a teammate. Looks like Dahlback and Lee Stepniak trying to push it out. Perron gives him a little bit of help, and it goes right back down into the Vegas Golden Knight end. Perron beats everyone to the puck. He's looking to try to clear it, trying to relieve any pressure. Cannot, as Carolina pushes it right back into the far boards, but it gets cleared right back out by Thomas Heike. Heike on the net, but misses just wide. Darling didn't have to move a muscle there. Back to the blue line. Jeff Skinner carries it out and dumps it down. Malcolm Subban's down. Sebastian Aho cannot put it into the net as he carries it wide. Another kerfluffle in the corner. And it looks like Vegas got the best of it as it goes back down into their offensive zone. Trying to get it on the net. Fails as it gets deflected by a Carolina player. Teuvo Teravainen. And that is the end of the first period. And Hurricanes lead the Golden Knights 2-0 after 1.
So what I would like to say about this game is, as the score may not say it, but this is a very evenly matched game. Both squads are fighting, but it looks like with more offense of the Carolina Hurricanes, they are generating more scoring chances, and with more scoring chances, more goals. Back to you, Bill.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's kind of rare for the Golden Knights getting outscored, or outshot, but it's happening in this one. As they clear right down, and that one got a little bit maybe panicky for Scott Darling, and it almost took a weird bounce. Carolina carries it out into their offensive zone. Alex Tuch and Hayden Fleury, the first one to the puck, goes right out in front. No Hurricane is there to put it in the net. It's out front again. It's Subban. Dives across his crease for the second time in the past 10 seconds, and Carolina brings it down their own end. They put it right on the net. Can they score? Yes, they do. It was right in front of Scott Darling, although it was behind him. He was facing the puck. And Malcolm Subban is going to get credit.
It's the second time a goalie has scored in this league. About the second time this season, and it's a huge one for the Knights, as they are now back in this game. But what I think is that the scoring is going to open up. It's a very close game. It's like an evenly pitched baseball game. But let's see how this pan out with 4:15 to go in the second. Back to you, Bill.
That was the one defensive mistake Carolina's made all game, and it's cost them. Golden Knights are right back into this one by splitting the lead in half. Forget about that now as the puck is behind the Vegas net, but Vegas ends up clearing it. Shea Theodore brings it into the Carolina end with Jonathan Marchessault hot in his tail. As they push it around the net, they try to find somebody at the point. Fails. Noah Hannafin now pushing it out to center. Pushing Tuch with the puck. Now Nordstrom takes control right at the net as they fail to throw it in or put it into the net. They're still trying to find somebody in front, but the puck stuck behind the net. And now the Vegas Golden Knights get it cleared. Bellemare takes it out to center. Theodore dumps it in, hits the side of the net. That one got a little bit close. Theodore, puck's now stuck in the corner, and Carolina gets it cleared of all pressure. Reeves is going to throw it on Subban. Subban deflects it wide, and Carolina takes back control, although Vegas does push their players right back out to center. Vegas with the puck in the corner. Bellemare and Hannafin, but the puck deflects right back out the center. But Teravainen and Trevor Van Riemsdyk, the two teammates, trying to push each other, trying to get a third goal for the team. Sebastian Aho now carries it over to the other boards. For Teravainen, that was a smart play. Behind the net, nothing comes of it. Vegas now clears. James Neal leading the rush, and he will beat everybody to the puck. Got a few teammates on him. Comes in front, but Darling, and it looked like maybe Brad Hunt tipped it through the crease, and the puck gets cleared. Now back down the ice. Justin Williams with a chance, and he shoots it wide with a little bit of push from Hunt, so he couldn't get control of the puck. James Neal dumps it into the zone. Nate Schmidt looking to tip it on net, but fails. This one's on top of the net, and it goes through, and it's a good Golden Knights goal. Looks like Shea Theodore will get credited. No, he does not. It is Cody Eakin's goal, and this one is tied at 2.
So this is what's happened. This is what I think is going to happen. This is going to be a slugfest all the way to the end. It's going to be back and forth, back and forth. It's going to see who gets the final goal at the final buzzer, who's going to win this game. Back to you, Bill.
Well, Hurricanes fans, what did we tell you? Don't get too excited for your 2-goal lead, because just like that, it's gone. Now off the faceoff, Golden Knights almost pull a Clayton Keller and throw it right in off the faceoff, but now it's in the corner as Darling tipped it wide. Derek Englund carries it into his own end. Now Englund beats Bellemare to the puck as he throws it right out in front mistakenly, but Vegas is still able to get it cleared. Holland Miller carries it in behind Scott Darling, and it's on the net. They score! Just like that, the Golden Knights take the lead, and oh my goodness, what a collapse for the Hurricanes.
Well, it's not to be expected, Bill. The Knights were coming back, and they were fighting back hard. This was to be expected. when all of your offensive players are crashing the net, this is bound to happen. A goal, and they keep this up. It's probably going to be 2 very, very soon. Back to you, Bill.
It bounced off of 4 players before it entered the net, but so the Golden Knights are lucky to have this lead, but indeed they do. They'll take it any way they can get it. Golden Knights win it back into their own end, not without pressure from the Hurricanes. That one goes straight to the crease of Malcolm Subban, but they still get it cleared right down into the corner. Goes off this outside of the post. Darling doesn't or isn't scared of it at all. Puck's still in on the blue line. Riley Smith carries it back in behind Darling, looking to find somebody in front, as all he finds is the Carolina Hurricane, and Stahl clears it down the ice. Justin Williams pushing 3 Golden Knights down the ice as he beats everyone in the puck, and it's right in the net. Justin Williams with a terrific play. I believe you all know Jacob Slavin gets credited, but the Hurricanes have retied this game.
When you have forwards that screen the goalie, and not only screen the goalie, they cover and they surround the goalie in the offensive zone. Again, this is also bound to happen. This is going to be a slugfest all the way to the end. Back to you, Bill.
Hurricanes needed that one to get right back into this game. They had that early 2-0 lead, but they got a little bit cocky and blew it. They almost pull a Clayton Keller once again, but it's stopped by Darling. Reeves throws it around to the other side. Is the puck stuck in the corner, but they finally get it cleared. Nicholas Waugh, first one to the puck, but England's going to be there to stop him from any pressure. Bellemare carries it. Now he has it behind the net. Waugh, the only Hurricane in there to push him, but he somehow comes out with the puck. Nicholas Dahlback, and now Nordstrom holds it. Huge hit by Colin Miller. Nordstrom comes sliding back out the center. Here comes Miller. Can't find anybody as it comes right back out the center. Nordstrom with a chance. Will he do anything with it? No, as he gets steered wide from Ryan Reeds. And now Nordstrom had a breakaway, but now steers it right back out, or down into his own end. Helping Vegas out. That one goes straight to the crease. No goal there. Slavin carries it over the Vegas blue line, right on the net. Big save by Subban. Can Vegas get it cleared? Indeed they do. Out to center is Colin Miller, looking to dump it in to get some pressure on the Hurricanes. And they push Dahlbeck back behind the net, but Dahlbeck pushes it right back out the center. Derek Ryan helps him out, although Vegas keeps it in. England in front to Heika. Heika overskates it, and that gives Carolina a chance to push the puck. They successfully do. Right back out the center with Slavin. Stepniak down in the corner. He's going to get a hit or two. Jeff Skinner and Stepniak now hold the puck. Comes across the Carolina blue line, and that is the end of the second period. We are back to a tie game, and the Hurricanes looking to get another win for their horrible start.
So this is what happens when players crash the net. They get goals, and not only goals, they get goals in bunches. And this is what's happening. Carolina players, Vegas players, all crashing their respective nets, and goals are happening back and forth. This is gonna be a great game and a great finish. Back to you, Bill.
Another thing to note is that both goalie goals from the season both came from the backups. If you remember correctly, Curtis McElhaney of the Toronto Maple Leafs scored the other one, as that one goes straight through the crease. And McElhaney is the backup to Frederick Anderson. Anyways, Trevor Van Riemsdyk gets pushed out the center by William Karlsson. Karlsson carries across the blue line, and Darling tips it to the far boards. Skinner carrying it out to center, but gets hit off of it. Vegas now dumps it into their own end, which is scary. Derek Ryan right on Hunt. Skinner holds the puck, trying to find somebody in front, finds Van Riemsdyk, but gets denied immediately. Skinner holds it, or brings it back into his own end. This one's right on the net, and that one is held just wide of a post. That was a great defensive play by Carolina. Although they brought it back in their own end, they recovered nicely. The Golden Knights, now in their own end, starting to panic a little bit, jumping around everywhere. Bellemare and throws it in front, but it gets tipped back in the corner by Subban. Now back behind the net. Jeff Skinner, Noah Hannafin, and Bellemare trying to push the puck out, and Bellemare successfully does. He has it behind the net, and now it gets cleared out to center. Ryan Reeves holds it and pushes it into his own end. Trevor Van Riemsdyk is down into the net. That's not how you score goals. Nicholas Waugh trying to get the puck, fails as Bellemare pushes it back out to center. Can he get something going as Darling was out of his net for the moment? And they do, but it just misses wide of the post. Nordstrom on top of his net, looking to maybe block something, but as the puck comes out to center, Hayden Fleury and McCown dump it in deep. And Carolina behind the net, getting pushed by 3 other Vegas players, trying to find somebody in front as Vegas keeps the puck against the boards. Puck glitches out and goes to the near boards now. Players all over the place. Carolina scrambling, trying to get something in front. They do, but it slides right back out the center. Ryan Reeves with an opportunity to push it on the net, and he skates it wide, decides not to push the net, although he had a clear lane. Brad Hunt almost put it back out the center. Good play by one of the Golden Knights to keep it in deep. Right, almost hit the post there. Now it's almost on top of the net. Sebastian Aho and Brad Hunt are battling with it, but 3 Carolina players outpower 1 Vegas player. It's on top of Nate Schmidt as Nate Schmidt is down. Oscar Lindberg helps a few of his teammates push it out the center, and Teuvo Teravainen now has full control of the puck. He brings it around his own end, trying to get it back deep in the Vegas, and they fail, and the Golden Knights score. 2 minutes and 7 seconds, and a failed clearing attempt from Dahlbeck, maybe Slavin, and Ryan Reeves gets the goal.
What an important piece of a hockey game and a successful hockey team is good defense. The defense in this play was horrendous as multiple Vegas players slipped right by. That's why it's 4-3.
A horrible clearing attempt indeed, and Vegas now re-owns the lead. And Vegas trying to get it down deep, and they do. It almost hits the net, but it just goes wide of the post. Puck gets cleared back out the center. It's almost on Subban. Can Skinner get anything? No, he cannot as he drives it wide as Colin Miller was right there behind him. Miller now owns the puck, trying to get it into the Carolina and fails. Carolina now deep into the Vegas end behind the net of Malcolm Subban. Lee Stepniak now carries it with Heike pushing him back out the center. Heike does his job successfully. England beats everybody to the puck. James Neal now has it deep. That one skips over now to the far boards where Shea Theodore holds it. Klaus Dahlbeck. Now Shea Theodore, and his puck gets pushed out the center by Derek Ryan. Goes right back into his own end now. Braden McNabb trying to find somebody in front. Fails as Carolina pushes it right out of the slot. Right back in. It's right in front. But as Darling's down, he makes a sprawling save to push it next to the net. Vegas carries it back out to center. Carolina pushes it, and this one's going to go up or down and out of play through the ice or over the boards. We're going to get a stoppage of play here.
What a good piece of a good, successful hockey team. You may think it's all about scoring, but goalies and defense actually have a huge part in how a game is played. The goalies in both games were spectacular. Maybe not in the Wild Sharks game, but in this game, both goalies were playing with star power. The defense, not so much, as many good chances got by, but the goalies just snuffed them out and saved the defense. Back to you, Build.
Only 30 seconds remaining in the third period. Can the Hurricanes get something going? William Karlsson right off the post as he almost puts it into his own net. Remember, there's no overtime. The Hurricanes looking to maybe get or salvage a point out of this. Trevor Van Riemsdyk and Justin Williams. David Perron right in front of the net. Nothing to come, but 10 seconds remaining. It's under Subban, a huge scram in front, but it gets cleared, and the Golden Knights score. I do believe that was William Karlsson, or maybe Shea Theodore. William Karlsson it was. Pushes or shoots it past Scott Darling, and this will probably end this game.
And as forwards are probably the most important piece. Wide open net, did not miss from there. That was from, I'm pretty sure, from the Vegas blue line all the way into the back of the net, of the Kings net. It's 5-3, 7 seconds to go. This game is all but over.
Holy Mackinac, that was a huge scrum in front of the net. Carolina had a chance, but they couldn't get it done as Carolina falls to 2-4 on the season. Golden Knights reclaim first place in the Western Conference, now with a 5-2, very respective start Golden Knights win 5-3 over Carolina here tonight. What a close, intense game this was, and that was more exciting than I thought it was going to be. Personally, I thought the Golden Knights were just going to run away with this game. Hurricanes have looked sloppy defensively all year, just like they did in this game, but both offenses were on tonight. Hurricanes' offense is nearly on, or is nearly always on, but their defense hasn't been on all year, and that continued tonight, and that's really what cost them. Have anything to say, Ben, before we tune out for tonight's edition of NSHL on Fox Sports?
Well, it was an evenly matched game, but then when the game came down to the wire, the Knights really excelled in that pressure, while the Hurricanes, they were nowhere to be found. The star players were nowhere to be found. Well, the Knights were running all over Scott Darling at the end of the third period, and that's how the Knights won this game. Is they knew how to, they had experience with pressure, and they knew how to use it to their advantage. And thank you for watching Fox Sports North, Fox Sports. We will see you next time. Back to you, Bill.
On behalf of myself, xBuilderPersonx, Ben Pie 1024, and DNP10, we thank you for tuning in to this game between the Golden Knights and Hurricanes, and we will be seeing you tomorrow for the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Philadelphia Flyers and the Arizona Coyotes at the Pittsburgh Penguins.